Joan Quinn Profiles. As an editor for Andy Warhol's Interview, the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner, LA Style, and Detour magazines, Joan covered the social set, the Hollywood hotshots, the international art scene, the mysteries of food, the excitement of travel, and the fabulous world of fashion. Joan continues to find creative people on the cutting edge who make things happen. Here's Joan Quinn.
Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome to the Joan Quinn Profiles. Waiting to be profiled today are two actresses, Claudia Mason, who came to acting from her supermodel career, and Gloria Garayua, who has been on the boards across the country. Actress Claudia Mason was born and raised in New York City. She started ballet lessons when she was 5 and went on to a prestigious school, the American Ballet School. And while she was attending that, that high school of the Performing Arts, the High School of the Performing Arts, you were discovered at the age of 13.
Yes, right before high school, actually. Yeah, I know, it's so crazy.
It is, and you went on to Elite Modeling Agency, which was a fantastic modeling career, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. They're still very powerful today amidst all the newer agencies that have, come up. But there was a scout. It's a funny story because a scout from Elite Petite Modeling Division.
Oh, Elite Petite.
And I'm all of 5'10" at age 13, And she came up, and I had a girlfriend from school with me who was 5 feet, and the scout came up to me and said, I'd like you to come in. But I'm a petite agent, so you'll have to come in and meet me, and then we'll go over to the regular division. And I was clueless, and of course my little petite friend got all the girls not to speak to me the next day. That's what I remember. She wasn't picked, and she's petite, so it was a whole...
So it was a big thing like that. Isn't it funny how it happens and you're so oblivious?
Yeah, because, I was always about dance and acting. My father
Were you going to be an actor?
I knew I was going to be a dancer or actress. That's just what, my father's a playwright. My mother danced and acted and did all of that. And she writes also. And so I grew up with theater people, especially my father. And it was in me and it was around me and I loved it. But dancing at that time was the focus. And so modeling, what the hell is that? Excuse me. So I just never thought about that. And so it sounds very glamorous now, but to me, I was just concerned the next day because all the girls weren't talking to me in school. I was 13.
Yeah, that's exactly. So I'll go on because your career as a supermodel was launched, and then you were seen. Were you seen on the runways? Did you do runway work?
Yes,
so you did. So you worked with Versace and Gucci and
Karl Lagerfeld for Chanel, Saint Laurent. Really, all of it. Mazadina Laya.
And then you were you were also on the covers of Vogue and Cosmopolitan and
W.
All
the rags, Joan. All the rags, baby.
Mademoiselle. When you were still young.
Yeah.
But so here you are. How old were you? A teenager?
Yeah, again, I was discovered at 13, and it just took off. Fortunately, my parents said, sorry, you're not leaving school. You have to get into college. So I went through the whole process. I got into 3 very good schools. Never went to the colleges, but of course finished high school, obviously, and got into college. And moved to Paris.
When they call the Performing Arts high school, is it a really high school with the regular curriculum?
Yes. Oh, yes. Well, it's what the movie was, of course, based on the famed school. But it's absolutely fantastic high school. I went to 1 year of that, which is a regular curriculum, and then your major, either dance, drama, singing, or music, or art, you do at a few hours of the day besides your regular curriculum. But I left that school to attend professional children's school, a very good private prep school, high school, for those who are already working.
Oh,
and
for
then
those,
I got into college.
So you were already a professional?
At 13, really. It was crazy. It was really crazy. But,
so tell me then, you moved, so you finished high school and then you moved to Paris?
Moved to Paris, lived there for 2.5 years.
Who went with you?
Well, my mom always sent either her first cousin, her mother, so my grandmother who I was very close to, and of course, but like at 18, I was like, oh, my grandma. It was being a bratty kind of teenager. But I'm grateful that my grandmother, beloved, who's no longer here, anyway, did all of that and chaperoned me. And then it would be my mom, too, or a cousin. But actually at 18, no, she let me, I moved there and it wasn't a worry. It was pre-18. When I was 18, that's like college years.
It was okay? It was like going away to college?
Completely. Because you have the agency there, you have other models who are your peers, you're all in it together.
But there were so many stories about models and drugs, and I mean, you can't go on the runway unless you have a bottle of champagne first. Those kind of things, because I used to be backstage a lot, so
I know.
Usually after the shows I would see it.
Right.
But I think there was a lot of that during your time.
Absolutely.
The heydays, really.
Yeah, I mean, you know, of course we had champagne. I mean, you know, I don't want to make people sick to say, but I was really someone who's not interested in the heavy drugs. I just wasn't. I mean, if I did it, I would say it. I just, you know, yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah.
You know, I had fun, but I didn't, you know, having champagne is a far cry from the other horrible things that were going on.
Yeah.
And thank God a lot of my friends are fine to this day. And, you know, part of that, you know, especially if you're so young in a business world with so many adults and you're treated like an adult, it's a very difficult thing. I mean, as all of the entertainment industries that kids would give their eye teeth for, as my mom always used to say. But I had very grounded parents, and they weren't impressed.
That was the thing.
They were like, you're an artist, and you're going to get into college, and, you know, great, you can model, but we're not that impressed with it.
But that's because they were writers, do you think?
Well, yeah, specifically my father, and yeah, I mean, they were New York, you know, they both went to Columbia, they both taught at Columbia and met there, and
well, they weren't here in Hollywood.
Intellectual New York City people.
More intellectual, you know. That's the point, I think.
Yeah.
So they looked at you as doing the same thing.
Absolutely.
Eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, thank God for modeling, Joan, because it took me away from the, you know, the dysfunction at home, which we all have in one way or another. And I got to be financially independent and see the world. And
I was going to say, see the world. You traveled. You went with fashion shows. Did you go with designers? Where did you go?
Oh gosh, I was privileged to be in so many parts of North Africa. I mean, Tunisia, Morocco,
for
Yemen.
photo shoots.
Photo shoots.
Oh,
all
for photo shoots.
Mexico, many times. I've seen so many beautiful parts of that incredible country. South America, Uruguay, Brazil, Argentina. I mean, I could go on. So many Western European countries, Greece, the Caribbean. You know, the whole life of a model.
Who was shooting? Who was the easiest to work with?
Two people just came up. Pamela Hansen, a doll, love her, and Regan Cameron, in terms of just yummy, lovely people.
You mean as friends?
Yeah, we're I mean, I haven't seen them in forever.
I mean, but you worked with them.
Worked with them, and they were really easy people to work with.
What about photographers?
Those are two examples.
Hansen was a photographer?
Yeah, Pamela Hansen. She still is a fantastic, I can't think of.
Oh, I was thinking of the model.
Yeah. Oh, who was that?
Hansen.
That's before my time, of course. What's her name?
Sorry, anyway.
Patty Hansen. Yeah, she was a great model. Yeah. That's before my time, thank you.
Well, you could have been the daughter figure.
But Pamela Hansen, a great photographer, and, you know, Regan Cameron, and then, you know, some of they're big, but the giants like Arthur Elgort, Patrick DeMarchelier.
Yeah,
Stephen
fantastic.
Meisel, you know, I mean,
you worked with everyone.
Artists, yeah.
And then, did you do runway in different countries?
Absolutely. Well, when you do the top runways of the world, you're in New York, London, Paris, Milano, and possibly Tokyo. I never did it in Tokyo.
Yeah.
I actually have never worked there, because when you're doing the top again, you know, the whole circuit of Milano, Paris, and London, and New York, who has time for Tokyo, Joan? I mean, it gets very, like, there's so much you can do. I'm being silly now, but it's truthful. I mean, if you're making the money in those major four cities, you don't have to then go to Tokyo. It was a little too much. But I'm sad I didn't, because it would have been great to go. One day I'll have to just go.
Then,
or shoot a film there.
How could you give it all up for acting?
You know, your soul has to do what your soul has to do. Like Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss in life, and I firmly believe that, because I wasn't the happiest person modeling. I'm grateful to it to this day, never knock it. It gave me, it opened the key to the world.
Yeah.
Coming from the background I came from, you know, I great parents, but there was no money.
Weren't you making money?
Yes, I'm just saying my background, my parents
didn't have money, but
you
probably had more money making.
I did well. So I'm grateful for it, and then acting came because I was like, okay, well, dance is long, you know, behind me. If you don't start dancing keep dancing at 14, you can't do it professionally.
That's a very short career too.
Yes, but exactly. But acting you can do forever and ever, and I just got the bug, and I'm like, okay, I gotta get into class and really get serious about this. And my father had directed me to, you know, HB Studio in New York.
Oh, Berghoff.
Yes, Carol Rosenfeld's class and Alice Spivak, wonderful.
That's how you started? Did you just stop modeling all together?
No.
Oh, you did it
to this day, I'll still do it if the job comes, and why not? And if it's nothing else to do and making money, absolutely. But it's really hardly anything now, because the concentration is on acting, and you know you have to where you put your energy is where it comes back to you, hopefully.
Yeah.
So splitting up the time, and it to really model like I used to, I'd have to be in New York again.
You don't want to go there?
Hollywood is acting. It's not modeling. This is an outpost for fashion. People don't realize.
But you started doing your acting classes in New York.
In New York, absolutely.
And then did you take acting classes here?
I did. I mean, I'm still in various workshops. Larry Moss, when he's in town, a fantastic coach. Kim Gillingham, an amazing coach. Because I think when you're not working on a project, it's like a dancer goes to the bar every day. Bruce speaks of that. Every day he's doing his tendu. So
it's true.
It's a workout. You know, that's how I look at it. And they're wonderful teachers in LA as well as New York.
Even if you're not going to do what they're telling you to do, or even if you're not going to dance, do you still go to class?
Oh, absolutely. Jill Strauss, I plug her. She's an amazing dancer and dance teacher. Jazz class. I have been 3 times a week when I can get there. Woo! I'm Bob Fosse. Oh, so much fun.
Jazz class, though, look how different that is from your classical ballet.
I know, but classical ballet, like Latin, when you're learning languages, is the root of all dance. So if you have ballet, I firmly believe you can do anything. Maybe not everyone agrees with me, but I feel that.
I think you're right. But when you were taking acting in New York, you also did some off-Broadway.
Yes,
I
did.
did
My father's
Intar.
Play. Yep, Boxing Day Parade, which is my father's play.
Oh, it is?
I did that, yes. And that
but that's
amazing.
A great theater.
Yeah. I have no idea if they even exist anymore.
I was there a few recently,
yeah,
not too long ago. But they have great playwrights, and they do wonderful work.
Yeah, and my dad has been a fantastic writer,
oh,
and so that was his play. Yeah, and that was his play. That was before acting class, and that was an incredible experience. Then I did the Glass Menagerie at Gramercy Arts. Again, I don't have no idea if they're there because this is a long time ago. And that was off. Off-Broadway was my father's play.
That was great.
Off Glass Menagerie. And a couple of others we showcased. I showcased at HB Foundation Theater at that time. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about theater before we have to leave.
Oh, please.
Tell me about that. Tennessee Williams.
Tennessee Williams, the great writer. This incredible play, A Descent into the Underworld, Orpheus Descending. It is, I think it's a time to be doing Tennessee. It's amazing that this came to me. You know, Lou Pepe, a fantastic director.
Oh, he's great.
He's so good.
Oh, I've had him on the show.
Yeah, he's wonderful.
Tell him you were on the show.
Oh, I will.
He's a filmmaker.
Yes, I will. I even thought maybe he'd be coming and having an interview with you for this.
No, I've already had him on. He's wonderful, and his partner's terrific.
Keith Fulton.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, they're so talented, and I know Lou more, and so he had asked me to be in this because we are part of a collective of artists.
Oh, I see.
And he and this fantastic producer, Ginger Perkins, and I, you know, Carol Coutrere is such an incredible role to play. And
Tell us what she does.
Well, she is, she's the soul, I think, of this play. I mean, of course, we know it's a love story primarily between Lady and Val, and I think the theme of the play is how these 4, Lady, Val, Carol, and V, people have been destroyed because they are different than the, how could I say without, the people of the town, that they don't fit into the same whole. You know, that they're artists, they're different, they have a different soul that the small town and small-minded, if you will, people are not accepting of. And so I think that's why these people are destroyed, and I think that's what the play is about. Obviously, it's set in 1957 in a very racist southern Mississippi Delta.
But he was so great at writing those characters, wasn't he?
So great. And Carol just, you know, she kills me. I mean, she's an amazing, she's misunderstood. She's a moth to the flame of Val. She goes with her impulses. She fights for, she's like a civil rights kind of person. She fights for what she believes in.
Way before her time.
Yes, absolutely. And has lost, I mean, she wanted to be seen and recognized and heard from her soul and never got that, so she stumbles through life in a kind of unfortunate way and to a certain extent, but she keeps screaming out, so to speak, what she believes in and what she needs.
Tell us where Theater is.
Theater is 5041 West Pico Boulevard, which is 2 blocks west of La Brea in Hollywood. Wonderful 99-seat theater.
Perfect.
Yeah, and we're from January 15th is our opening to February 21st.
So we're going to come and see you.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It's great having you. And don't go away. We'll be right back with another actress, Gloria Garayua. Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome back to the Joan Quinn Profiles. I'm here with actress Gloria Garayua, who was born and raised in the Bronx, New York. She didn't go far. She attended St. Nicholas Grade School, St. Catherine High School, and earned her Bachelor of Fine Arts in acting from the Long Island University. You've seen her in films like Fun with Dick and Jane, Henry Poole is here, on TV in a recurring role on Grey's Anatomy. She's been on Desperate Housewives, 6 Feet Under, and on and on and on. But on the stage, she's been at the Old Globe, Kirk Douglas, my favorite, Mark Taper, my favorite, and the Odyssey, my favorite, in California. She's toured and worked all through New York, and we're happy you're with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks. Did you go to Manhattan from the Bronx? Did you go that far?
Yes. I never lived there, but that's where all the auditions are, so yes. Yes.
It's not very far, is it?
No. It feels far when you're on the train, though.
Were you looking for work after you finished Long Island University?
Yes. I instantly got a National Theater for the Performing Arts, which was a tour. So I
you
toured
did?
37 states as soon as I graduated college. And then I
Doing
went back.
what?
I did, what was the name of the show? Great Scientists Throughout the Ages. And I was the lead. I was this little girl who has a dream about all these scientists, and it helps her study for her test. So she wakes up and she passes her science test. That was a lot of fun.
That's fantastic. And you are a little girl.
Yeah,
and you still look like a little girl, so you were probably perfect.
Thank you.
Was there any show business in your family?
No, other than a few singers.
Well, how did you get interested in being an actress? Because it's a tough, everyone thinks it's so glamorous, but it's a very taxing, I think, career.
Oh, it still is, yeah. I suppose that came from my mom. Not that she wanted me to be an actress, but she's so animated, and she would walk around the house singing, and I couldn't help but catch on to her extrovertedness, and I just started playing with a hairbrush, and it just started happening. I started doing school plays, and then I just knew.
So by the time you were in university, you knew, because that's what you were majoring in, right?
I knew, yes, but I knew when I was in high school that I wanted to be an actress. Before then, I thought I wanted to be a doctor.
Were you taking any acting classes?
No, which is why I was so intimidated when I got to college and everyone else had acting experience under their belt, and all I had was a few school plays. But after a while, I realized they're no better than I can still be grand. I gave myself permission to be good.
Did you then go to acting classes, or did you just start acting?
In college, it was my major, so the classes started as soon as I showed up at college.
Right, but I mean afterwards, after you left college.
After I left college, I continued taking classes.
That's what I wondered.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, my favorites, the Taper, the Kirk Douglas. What did you do at the Taper?
A Very Old Man with Enormous Wings by Nilo Cruz.
I love Nilo Cruz. Have you been in a lot of his plays?
Just one other, and it's What Brought Me to California.
Oh, did you do it in New York? Oh, you did it here?
At the Old Globe Theater. It was called Two Sisters and a Piano.
San Diego. I saw that at the Public Theater. Two Sisters and a Piano. Fantastic.
I think that's where it premiered.
Adriana Sevon was in it. And someone else was, I forget who else was in it.
The woman from Rent, Daphne Rubin Vega.
Oh, Daphne was in it.
Anna, she did Anna in the Tropics on Broadway.
I saw that too. That was fantastic. He's great, isn't he?
I met him when I did A Very Old Man with Enormous Wings, and I gave that man the biggest hug, and I said, thank you for writing Two Sisters, because it's what brought me to California. I never thought I'd be in California.
What'd you do? Did you audition for this role
in
at the
New
Old
York? And they were looking for a Latina who played piano.
Oh.
And I said, I'll never get this. And I thought it over and I submitted anyway.
Did you play?
I got it. I actually do play piano. I haven't played in a long time. I purposely stopped because I realized I didn't have a love for it as I have for other arts. So I just let it go. But at the time, I was playing all the time.
You were then?
And I got it.
But Nilo got, what did he get? The Pulitzer?
He did.
Yeah.
He got it for Anna in the Tropics.
I know. That's what you were. Have you played that yet?
No, not yet. I've
You're
seen
going
it, but
to.
I haven't been in it.
You'll do that next. What about at the Kirk Douglas?
Oh, I mixed those up. So Kirk Douglas, I did what I just talked about.
Okay.
And at the Mark Taper, I did something called Illumination, which was a reading that they were hoping to get on stage, and it never got that far. And it's so interesting that that's what got me my equity card.
So all these things have really big meanings for you.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, like the Kirk Douglas, we're talking about it, and that's how you got here, which wasn't too long ago.
I got here through Sisters in a Piano. Two sisters
that wasn't too long ago.
No, just a few years. I've only been here not even 5 years.
Oh,
so things have been just,
really?
This was the right move to come here.
This was perfect.
Yeah.
And then the Taper got you your
Yes, through
card?
Illumination. I mean, go figure. I did all this theater on the East Coast. Some of it regional, some of it touring, and I never got my card. Then I come here, I got my card with a reading. I just couldn't believe it.
What about the directors at those places? Who directed you? I forget.
See. Mark Taper was Chris, and I'm blanking on his last name. And then the Kirk Douglas Theater was Andrew Sau from Seattle.
Oh, really?
Karen Carpenter directed Two Sisters and a Piano. And at the Odyssey Theater now, it's Diane Rodriguez.
Diane Rodriguez. Tell us about that. The Odyssey is another great theater. There's 3 small theaters there, I think. 3 or 2? 2 or 3? 3. And they're always doing interesting things. I think the play that you're in now, La Posada Mágica, is directed by Diane Rodriguez, who does fantastic work too. I've never met her, but her work precedes her. She's so good.
I've known her for a few years, and I'm finally working with her.
So tell us a little bit about that play.
La Posada Mágica is a magical story. It's about a little girl who's just not in the Christmas mood. Well, she's not so little. She's a teenager. And through meeting this posada, which is a procession of people who collect donations for the church on Christmas Eve, she renews her spirit in Christmas.
So is it only played during the Christmas season, or can they play it? Oh, that's the only time they play it.
It has a Christmas theme, so.
And when did you start?
I started 3 years ago. Well, 2007, but this is my 3rd year doing it. Yeah.
And Octavio
wrote it. Music is by
Octavio Solis.
Yes.
And he lives in San Francisco. He's a fantastic playwright, too.
Yeah.
And he directed the first year you were in it.
Yeah, he directed me 2 years in a row. And
2 years.
2 years. And now Diane Rodriguez at the Odyssey.
Who's in it with you?
Denise Plasor and Chrissy Guerrero. They're the producers, actually. Tiffany,
but they're also in it?
They're also in it. Every role, except for a few roles, are double cast. And so mine is double cast with Tiffany Solano, who actually did it for 8 years.
Wow.
And then took a break, and now she's back.
It's an ensemble, obviously, you call it. Do you all get along really well?
Yeah, I mean, I'm meeting some of those people for the first time.
That's what I wondered.
Most of them I knew either because I've worked with them at Posada before, or I know them through TV or auditions or things like that.
And talking about TV, you've done a lot of it. You just started doing a lot of it here. How did your recurring role come up?
In 2007, I auditioned for this role, which was not listed as being a recurring role, and it ended up being that.
Did they write it for you, or?
No.
That you were so good? Oh,
it just turned out to be, I think it was popular, people liked it, so they kept calling the interns back. That's what I play an intern. And so it lasted 3 years. I'm still doing it, but now I'm doing less work on Grey's Anatomy and more on a web series that they spinned off.
What is that?
So interesting. Only 2 episodes have aired so far, but basically they're following the interns' personal lives outside of the hospital.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Is someone writing it?
Yeah, they've got...
So it's a different kind of a...
I think it's Grey's Anatomy writers, and then they've got directors that are... I don't think I've ever done anything on Grey's Anatomy before, so they're giving new people a chance.
When do you go to work for that?
They'll call me like once a month, and we'll shoot several in a row, and we'll see where that takes us, because we did 6 so far.
Really?
And they're airing them with 2 weeks apart, so...
You talked about going for that recurrent... Well, you didn't know it was a recurring role, but when you went to audition... Who comes to the auditions? Are they people just like you? Do you see the same people?
Lately, I've been seeing a lot of the same people. If I'm going out for a role specifically requiring a Latina, by now I've met many of the circle.
That's what I mean. Who's in that circle?
Well, I can't say that these people auditioned for Grey's Anatomy. I don't remember seeing them. But I do see Onawa I forget her last name, but you saw her at Lydia.
At the taper, yeah.
I see her a lot. I see this, oh God, I'm forgetting last names. I don't know if you want to use this or not, but a girl named Elizabeth something or other. I see her at auditions all the time. It's interesting because I recognize the face and I know their first names. I may not know their last names, but I see them all the time.
Are you friendly when you go to auditions?
Yeah, because by now I realize there's competition, yes, but I know them and I like them,
right.
So we just chit-chat.
And then, so what other kind of roles are you up for? Are you typecast as a Latina when you say that?
Well, there's no getting away from this face. So, yeah, I mean, it happens all the time.
Denise Blasor said, well, I could play different roles too.
She does. Well, she also has blonde hair, light eyes, and lighter skin. So she can.
We can't do that?
I guess not. I mean, most of the things I go out for are Latina roles. Few things have I booked that were not Latina specific, and that was a blind role that I played on 3 Pounds with Stanley Tucci.
Oh.
What else? I guess that's it. My goodness.
But
everything else has been specific to Latinas.
But so does it typecast you? I mean,
yeah, but I'm not worried about it.
You don't care about that. Have you done any work using your native tongue?
Yeah. I've spoken Spanish in several things like Weeds, Grey's Anatomy I've managed to speak, and Fun with Dick and Jane I had to do an accent. That was interesting.
You had to make accent of your own accent?
Well, I've never played a Puerto Rican.
And are you Puerto Rican?
I'm Puerto Rican, and I've played Argentinian, Nicaraguan, Mexican, and I haven't played Puerto Rican.
So you had to make your own accent up? They didn't like your accent?
I tried to research the accent so I display that nationality well. But they haven't asked, I mean, I have just a New Yorican accent, but they haven't asked for that, so we'll see.
But have you done anything on stage, like
with
totally Spanish? No. Totally in Spanish?
When I did Two Sisters and a Piano, they wanted a Cuban accent, so I worked on that. So don't ask me to do any of that. I don't remember. I study it for the part, and then it just goes away.
Do they have a coach come in and help you with it?
On a few things, yeah. Like, for example, Two Sisters and a Piano, I had a coach. But on other things, I'm on my own.
Oh, so you have to learn it yourself.
But I work it before the audition, and then I book it, so they figure she doesn't need a coach. And I come in with the accent I've worked on.
You do play in different venues in different cities. Are the audiences the same to you? Do you find a difference?
Well, I think one has to have the mentality that they are, but of course, every theater markets to different demographics, but that's not my business. I just try to do my work. That's not my concern.
Does it change your acting when you're on stage if the audience is different?
No, although I'll be directed differently. For example, when I did Lydia at Marin Theater Company, most of their audience is an older crowd, and Lydia is just very risque. So they asked for us to angle ourselves in a certain way to not offend audiences. We changed 1 line or 2 lines.
Oh, you did.
But,
so you did.
Yeah, but I only do that if I'm asked to do. Otherwise, I'm true to the playwright's work.
And are you taking any acting classes right now?
I'm always taking acting classes.
Do you go to dance classes?
I'm always taking dance classes. I take my voice lessons. I just figure I want to be ready. If I'm ever called for anything specific that requires anything other than acting, I want to be ready.
So in your spare time, you're acting, dancing,
yes,
singing?
I teach drama to little kids.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. On Saturday mornings, I teach at the Fine Arts Conservatory through LAUSD.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So that's great to be giving back, and also to be an example to young kids.
Oh, the kids love it. They'll say to me, we saw you on Grey's Anatomy this week.
Oh, they did.
So it inspires them. Although they shouldn't be watching late at night. They should be sleeping. But,
that's right.
But I'm glad they're supportive.
So what's your next kind of big thing?
I've got a movie coming out next year called Mother and Child. Mm-hmm. And I play Jimmy Smith's daughter.
Oh, cool.
And I'm not sure when it comes out, but I know it's spring 2010. Then on Desperate Housewives, I booked a small role playing Eva Longoria's daughter.
Oh, see, you're such a cute little thing. You play everybody's daughter.
Go figure. And I think that's it. And then these web series that are happening now.
These web series are great.
I heard that they're popular, so hopefully we'll do some more.
Well, I'm so glad you came on to be with us.
Thank you, Joan. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Gloria Garayua, and we'll keep looking for your name.
Thank you.
And you keep writing to us at 777 South Figueroa, 44th floor, Los Angeles 90017. But we love your emails, and we'll forward them to Gloria if you email.
Sure.
JAQUINN1@AOL.com. See you next time.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joan.